And to be clear, the reason I'm crashing out a little bit over this is that end game, like late game, hardcore sweats do this all the time. They play the game so hardcore all the time that the moment that they stop playing the game, I'm too far behind. I can't catch up. Are you kidding me? Two weeks ago, I'm done with Throne of Liberty. This is Corlax. This video got some views.
Burnt out and over it really quickly. The game has no longevity.
This says, I'm done with Throne and Liberty. Sadness setting in. Brr. This was 2 weeks ago, by the way. So this is like still peak like T2.
Hey, long time no see, guys. What's up? It's Corey, and today I want to talk about Throne and Liberty and where I stand with the game, and just be transparent with you about the internal struggle I'm really having with the game at this moment. As you know, I've been a huge proponent of this game. I fell in love with it immediately. I'm an old WoW head, and I really haven't had an MMO hook me like this game did since WoW. The PvP in this game really is what drew me in. That's always what I loved in WoW, and I'm so thankful to Throne and Liberty for helping me get partnered on YouTube, and it really pushed my creativity, and it helped me become a better editor, and I've gotten so much better with the software that I'm using, and I've also made a couple really cool friends despite all of the crazy guild drama in this game. However, recently I went on a trip to Europe. The trip was only for about 10 days, and during my trip out there, I even logged in through a VPN to make sure to grab the weekly reset contracts so that I...
Oh my God. You were logging in while you were in Europe? That's dedication. That is insane. That is absolutely wild. I think I have a reason why he quit the game, guys. It might be because he was playing it too hard.
I could do my best to sort of keep up with the server. What I have found upon my return, I left right around the week that Trials came out. I come back to see that everyone has just used exploit after exploit, and there's even hacking accusations going around now. Basically,
this is my point, what we were talking about before with the Godspeed stuff. I think that people have blown out of proportion, like really hard, how bad scripting and stuff is. I think the literal cope of every single player when they lose in PvP now is, oh, that person's scripting. They're scripting. They're cheating. And I tried to warn people about this early on when it started in the community. Everyone just wants to point the finger at the other guy and say that they're cheating every time that they lose. Oh my God, it is so frustrating. And the worst part is, most of the time they're not cheating. They're just better than you. And when they are cheating, you're devaluing it, right? Because it makes it actually harder for AGS to identify who is cheating based on performance. Like what these people want is they want every single player in every top-end guild in the game to be permanently banned from the game for scripting, because they've lost to all those players. And once all of those players are gone, they will be the top player in the game. Everyone will accuse them of scripting, and then they will get banned from the game. Like, dude, they're not all hacking, and they're not all scripting. You are just on massive copy. This is a big problem in the community. Big problem. Made worse by the fact that we have content creators that make videos that constantly talk about, like, oh my God, this person's cheating. Look at the newest exploits this week. Look at the new bugs this week. Because they're desperate to try to make content for the game. They know it's eye-catching and it will get views. So they make these videos, and you click on the video and they're upset that the jumper golem is jumping. Like, come on, dude. Give me a break.
everyone was able to get...
I'll move out of the way so you guys can see him.
So much higher in combat power that me as an individual, it makes it feel like...
No, Blue, they're all hacking. Even in BDO, I get one shot in RBF with my Tuvala gear on. True. And that's the problem, is they're like, every time they block something, they couldn't have blocked that block script. Every time they one-shot you, oh, he's either gear carried, or he's hacking, or he's scripting, or for the best damage rotation, anything. It's always something. It's always something with these people, bro. It's ridiculous. It's so annoying. And it devalues high skill, like high-end PvP in the game. I understand, guys. Scripting is in the game. Okay? And AGS is working on a fix for it. But like, be honest with yourselves. I talk with a lot of the high-end guilds, and I'm good friends with a lot of people in there. I know they're not scripting. I know they're not. Okay? Some of them are in my guild. Okay? They're not scripting. Okay? Like, it just doesn't... I know, because I could kill them too. You're just bad. All right? There are people scripting. It is happening. All right. And usually, you know, like that person is obviously scripting, and it's like it's known by the community, especially in arenas. You can usually tell exactly, hey, this person is a known scripter, right? Like, but like, again, it's like every guild, every game, like it was really bad in EU. Every single match we had in the first round of the tournament, every time a guild would win, that guild is scripting. It's just a bunch of bot scripters. Bot scripters win again. It's so ridiculous to say that 2,150 players are all scripting. That is so dumb and outlandish to say, and I'm so sick about hearing about this. This is so obnoxious. I do think that AGS should do something about the scripting. 100%, no question. But it's not this bad, guys. Like, chill out, bro.
There's no desire for me to want to
press 1 if supple scripts. Guys, I'm just going to keep it a buck. Are there people in supple who script? I am sure. There are a few. But on the whole, no, they're not cheating. And I know because I was in Ethereum for a long time, and people said that, oh my God, Ethereum constantly says they're scripting too. Guys, I shot called for Ethereum. I've talked with these people in these communities. Like I've been around them. They just know more about the game than you. These people know so much more about the game than you. It makes you look like a loser. All right? Like if you just sit and voice and listen to these people talk, they are so min-max micromanaging their gear and their wheel and all of the little shit that they're doing at guild events to make everything perfect. Like, again, usually it's a massive knowledge gap is the reason that you're getting gapped in PvP. It's because they're min-maxed way stronger than you, and they understand their damage rotation better than you. They understand their damage, everything. They're just more up to date on the game than you. Are some of them scripting? Absolutely no question. But most of them, no. Everyone who pressed 1 probably lost to supple. Well, again, there are some people that script in supple. It's impossible to avoid it. Anytime that you have incredibly competitive, giga sweat, like high-end PvP where people are trying to be the best, you're going to have people cheating, right? Because people are going to try to cheat, right? It's like this in BDO 2. How many of the top-end guilds have Pinoid? All right, it's just like you're going to have that. But are all of them doing that? No. Like that's crazy. And are most of them doing that? No. They did that before. Not doing that now.
on a theory craft or build craft when I can't push competitively at all, and there's no way.
And by the way, just because someone perfect blocks you does not mean they're scripting. Please stop saying that.
That I'm going to grind 10 hours a day doing open world dungeon or try to push trials just to try to get up to their combat power. So unfortunately, where I stand at the moment, I was not able to keep up essentially. I still enjoy Throne and Liberty. The game is absolutely beautiful.
What's this guy's gear score? He said I wasn't able to keep up. Does he have his gear score? I bet this dude's gear score is over 6K. I just can't keep up.
And I'd like to see what they do with the future updates regarding the raid and the new solo content, and I'm absolutely going to check that out, and we'll still make videos on it. However, to just cut it plain and dry, I no longer am playing Throne and Liberty competitively. Those are really the main reasons, but there are many more nuanced issues on top.
I want to see his gear. Does anyone know what his gear is? I wonder if he has gear in a previous video. Bro, what a joke. This guy, this is a month and a half ago. This is when Talandre was about to come out, it looks like. Or right as Talandre is coming out. This guy was 51-58 when Talandre released. Basically. Okay. So it came out. He got his weapons. Right? He's got this shit at 12. Okay. And he's still on the rest of his T1 gear. And this is over a month ago. You telling me that he's not over 6K in a month? 5,100 and T2 is low? Most of that was not T2, or it's not maxed out T2. The f is this stupid ass cope, dude? This is so cope. Damn it, dude. I wish he had showed his gear score. Like, straight up. I want to know what his gear looks like. Does he stream on Twitch?
Top of that, such as now,
guaranteed this kid is like 6K, and he's like, I'm behind, there's nothing I can do. At minimum, he's like 5.6. Again, anyone that's doing like Nebula actively is already finished with all their other stuff in the game and is at Nebula farming people. Okay? What the like, dude, you're not behind. You're so far out in front. It's crazy. Like this is like this. And to be clear, the reason I'm crashing out a little bit over this is that end game, like late game, hardcore sweats do this all the time. They play the game so hardcore all the time that the moment that they stop playing the game, I'm too far behind. I can't catch up. Are you kidding me? In the month of May alone, the amount of catch-up mechanics that you have, you're going to be able to hit max gear score. I guarantee you he'll be able to hit 63, 6,400 by the end of May if he just does the events and logs in. And like, even if he was somehow 100 to 200 gear score behind, it's really not that big of a deal. And again, it's not as big of a deal as these people like to let on. They're normally used to being so far ahead of everyone else, and now they're only like a lot far ahead of everybody else, and they get it in their head that like they can't keep up, and then they just quit. He definitely got shit on by someone less gear score, I bet. No, I like, people just they get this idea in their head and then they knee jerk, they quit the game. This is like, there's two types of quitting. I talked about it in my State of the Game BDO video. There's like quitting the game over time as you get less actively in the game. Like, can you play the game less actively over time? Now, there's no AFK activities in TnL, so it's a much faster process for them. But like, there's quitting the game over time, and then there's like the knee jerk. I can't do it anymore, right? And that's what this is. This is like, I can't do this anymore. I can't keep up. Right? What's the implication? What is he behind? How is he behind? He's not. He's not behind. He's ahead. He's just not as far ahead as he was, right? Like,
not being able to read.
Sounds like he's molding. Well, a lot of these players do like to mold, and there's nothing wrong with molding. There is nothing wrong with like getting upset, okay? But at the end of the day, to knee-jerk quit the game is crazy.
Region transfer. My guild was on an eastern region, and they've implemented no region transfer, so my ping is extremely high, and the game is really tough, as you know, especially in...
Whose fault is that? Be honest. Whose fault is it that you're playing on the wrong region? Where are you living in the United States? What are we talking about? You're living in what? Probably California, if I had to guess, and you were like, I'm going to play on East. Like, do you not know the difference between West and East when you look at a map? To be fair, nobody plays on West Coast servers. That's not true at all. No streamers, really. There are like 2 or 3 streamers that play West Coast. Most of the streamers ended up playing East Coast, and because the streamers were playing East Coast, a lot of the really competitive PvP guilds also play on NA East because that's where they felt the competition was going to be. That does not mean that NA West is not competitive or doesn't have an active servers. Like, chill out with that.
PvP, when I chain or anything, it's always off. It just doesn't feel good. That's another reason. Basically, I feel that the reward for my time is no longer there. I don't want to grind, 5 hours of open world dungeon, 5 hours Nebula, and do 40k abyssal tokens, all this stuff to try to get my combat power up. Yeah, there's...
First time? Oh, man, that's you ain't even breaking it in BDO. I'm just going to be honest, bro. You're playing a grindy Korean MMO. And you just said, I'm not going to do 5 hours of grinding so that my combat power can't go up. Put 2 zeros on the end of that. And then come talk to me about how you're complaining that your combat power didn't increase. Okay? I could grind for 500 hours at BDO and my gear would go nowhere. In Throne, if I put 100 hours into Throne of Liberty, my gear score will go up by at least 1,500 to 2,000, depending on where I'm at. In this case, I'm at 5K. I would basically max out. If I put 100 hours of active playtime in, I would easily be like 6.1, 6.2. It's just that simple. It's not even a question.
There's always fishing, and I am a huge proponent of playing a game just for fun. There's so much to enjoy in this game without paying a cent. You can go enjoy the world, go fish. Clear that I would. Now,
I will say, to his credit, because I'm trying to give him benefit of the doubt, part of the reason, the real reason, nobody wants to say it, I'm going to say it. The real reason players quit the game in Throne of Liberty is because there are 2 parts of the game that have to be good in order to play the game successfully. both of these things have to be good for players to continue playing your game. Okay, like a lot of players. All right, and I don't think that anybody has a problem with the end game content in Throne of Liberty. Siege is fun. There's definitely critiques that you can make. There's definitely critiques, right? Like they've ruined conflict bosses and stuff. But like Siege is fun, and overall PvP, like the scale of PvP is fun. GVGing is fun. Nebula's fun. That all that stuff is fun. Like the end game being the PvP is a lot of fun. This is ass. You know it. I know it. We all know it. Okay? This is not nearly as enjoyable as this is. The gameplay loop in Throne is not... It's not crazy enjoyable. Like when you're doing your contracts, you're dreaming about killing people with your gear. When you're doing dungeons for like the 100th time, they can be very, very frustrating. And again, you want to be doing the PvP. Okay? And again, the gameplay loop is not super great. BDO actually has the opposite problem, where the gameplay loop in BDO actually not bad, because you get to use like the really good combat and like grind on your class, or like you could do life skilling, whatever. Like there's a lot of different systems that you can play. But then in BDO, all of the in-game content is complete dog shit that you're just like, well, why am I even doing this anyway? So like, again, both games have their issues. Throne's issue is that the end game is really solid, although again they've made a couple bad mistakes, but like their gameplay loop is just not on a level that I think players feel like the grind just doesn't hit as hard in Throne. The best thing that I like to do in Throne is open world dungeon tokens. That's fun. For me, that's fun because there's this weird satisfying ting sound when you pick up all the items. And you can like feel the progression. You see your mastery going up. You're getting a lot of materials. You get to do it with other people. Sometimes PvP is there. It's fun. It's a good time. That's the best gameplay loop that there is in the game by far. The contracts are the worst. The contracts are the worst. Now, honestly, I think that they need to rework contracts so that they have PvP contracts too. So you can do PvP to do your contracts every day. That would help tremendously. That would help great. Give us like Nebula contracts or some other stupid shit like guild contracts that we can use to like kill people, whatever, right? Or even Dominion contracts or like guild event contracts, anything that helps us not like just go out and kill mobs, because that shit sucks. Like I think that the developers in Throne of Liberty don't understand. They think that we want to mindlessly go kill mobs. That is the case if your combat is really good. Your combat sucks. It's tab target. Okay, we don't want to go kill mobs for hundreds of hours. Okay, World of Warcraft seems to get it. Their combat's ass too. Okay, but they don't have their players going out to kill mobs for hundreds of hours. They get to do dungeons and raids, right? They get to do raids and mythic and all that stuff, right? So like they have more fun with it. Throne is forcing you to go out and kill meaningless mobs for endless amounts of time every single day. Well, not endless, but like a bunch of time every single day. That's not super fun for players because the combat is not good enough for it to be fun. So you need to put make contracts a part of the enjoyable aspect of the experience. You can either tack them onto the like dungeons, I guess, or you can make like PvP contracts. The cooking contracts were really good. That was a good addition to the game. But again, like there needs to be different ways to do your contracts that don't involve just a mindless slog. And that's just the contracts. The dungeons should, again, like, bro, they just got to introduce, like, there's dimensional trials and stuff, but again, those are really hard to do with people. Dude, you guys know it. When you sign up for dimensional trials, you get some gearlet on your team that's just trying to skate by. It's a little rough, man. It's a little rough. You kind of have to do that with a pre-made. And so, like, dimensional trials can be a little rough, but at the same time, I'm not going to criticize them too much on the dungeon. The dungeons are okay. The dungeons are fine. They're really fun when they come out, and they kind of decline in popularity over time as they become monotonous and tedious. You know what I mean? But like contracts are very consistently always bad.
Will continue to log in casually, check out the updates, etc. I just no longer am going to push or play this as my main game competitively like I used to. Just wanted to be transparent with you as my audience. Another reason for this right now is that PoE 2, their 0.2 patch for early access just came out, and really I'm just having a blast. I couldn't agree.
I find this comical because all of the feedback that I got when the Path of Exile drop launched was that it was total ass and you had to wait for them to patch some shit. Otherwise, the game was basically just not fun. Like, and like he made this video. When did he make this video? This video was made on April 16th. So the PoE expansion had just dropped at this moment. Everyone else, all of the other creators were like, yeah, so this shit sucks. Yeah. This shit blows. I don't even know if they fixed it yet, but like, it's funny that he's like, yeah, I'm going to go play this. I sincerely think that this guy, he seems like a sincere guy. He seems like a good content creator. I think that he's knee-jerk quitting TnL. I think this is somebody that is going to come back to the game and play it again, for sure. Especially when he gets tired of Path of Exile. He's just looking for a change of pace because I think he burned out too hard. It seemed like, again, all of the warning signs were there. The dude's logging in while he's in Europe to VPN in and try to do his shit every day. Like, he's just sweating out of his mind playing Nebula and all the other stuff. I think that he just burned out. And I think that, player, that happens. In Korean MMOs, you're going to burn out. You're going to knee-jerk. You're going to quit the game, and then you come back. That's just the way that it goes.
Agree more with the lazy peons video.
To be fair, they made most of the issues better within a few days. Yes, but again, this is...
As much as Talandre has brought some really nice changes to the game, it's also brought a lot more daily and weekly bullshit that will just feel like a weight off the shoulders as soon as it's no longer part of your routine.
What do you mean more daily and weekly bullshit? I feel like it's the same daily and weekly bullshit. You got your dungeons, your contracts, and your abyssal tokens. Maybe he means... I think that Lazy Peon probably has not played since the new tokens were added for, T3 and stuff. So he probably means that. So now he's got to manage 2 of those tokens. And he probably doesn't know about dimensional trials, maybe. But, like, those take your tokens. So, like,
I could not agree with him more about having that weight off of your shoulders. I got to the point where I was immediately leaving work trying to log on for the events, and it's just a nice breath of fresh air.
Yeah, see, this is what I'm talking about, bro. I love how he's like, I was leaving work and I was driving home trying to log in on my phone with a VPN virtual machine. Like, dude, you're taking the game way too seriously. That's the reason you're getting upset. You've got to take a step back. Okay? You gotta take a step back. You gotta take a step back. So it's probably healthy that he's just taking a breather.
And not feel like I have to keep up. What I love about Throne is the PvP.
I have taken a much more relaxed approach to Throne this time. When it first came out, when Throne of Liberty first came out, I was logged in every day. I had alarms set for conflict bosses. I was shot calling everything. I was at every rift in Boonstone. We're at Siege. We're doing politics. We're managing alliance shit all the time. We're always at guild events. Like, wake up, it's time to do Lantern Festival. I did that shit. Okay? And I burned to a crisp. Just like this guy. No shot. This time, much healthier approach to the game. I log in. I don't necessarily log in every single day to do my stuff, but I do log in. I try to bang out all my stuff, or as much stuff as I can. I take it casually. I keep grinding. I keep working on my gear. I keep pushing my stuff, and the game has been much more enjoyable in a guild that takes it much more casually. Look, I understand there are people in my guild that take it much more hardcore, but like, again, I feel like I'm kind of keeping up with the gear curve. Like, I'm behind, right? I'm at 5K, but like, I think that 5K is reasonable, right? You're not like sitting down at 4K like as a new player, right? 5K, I think you're starting to get your T2 gear together. Your mastery's starting to get into a reasonable position. 6K is kind of the end game, or where the end game is right now. I think the top end players are like 6.4 right now at maximum, like tippity top of the line maximum, right? So like, again, 5K, is it behind? Sure, but like, I'm not burning myself out on the game. It's a much healthier approach, in my opinion, right? I'm still there for like the really big stuff. I've logged in for like the Rift and Boonstones a lot. I've missed more than I wanted to, so I've wanted to log in more, but I've had family stuff going on, which is sad, but it is what it is. And then again, I'm there for Siege, which has been a lot of fun. And again, I get to explore all the fun aspects of the game without completely burning out on the game. And I think that it's been a much more enjoyable experience for me. It got boring quick, but that's just me. Well, if you're not doing PvP, Throne of Liberty gets boring immediately. If you are not doing PvP at all, and it's not part of your gameplay loop, you are going to quit right away. Because, again, the gameplay loop is not the good part of the game. It's the end game PvP content that people like to log in for and do. So if you're not doing that end game PvP and you're not having that experience and you're not in an active guild, you're not going to have a good time at the game. That's obvious.
And feeling like your combat power is so low that you can't enjoy the PvP at all is just kind of a bummer feeling.
It is a bummer feeling. He's right. That's why they're doing all these catch-up mechanics to help players get to that level where they can play and do high-end PvP stuff, right? So, he's right, though.
So maybe come, T3 or the next expansion, I'll have another go around.
I barely do PvP. I've played since launch. I might be crazy. Well, your version of PvP... See, we're talking about... And you are playing... different type of PvP.
Round, or essentially another chance to
You are crazy if you're playing this game with no PvP.
keep up competitively. But right now in T2, I just don't see myself playing like I was. I also would really like to just see a basic subscription-based model. Call me old school, but seeing people pay literal hundreds, if not thousands of dollars for an item in the game that just discourages developers from even giving us a sub model, and I feel like and make the loot maybe a little more available.
What? Wait, so like you want us to pay more money to play the game? Nope. I think that deters people from playing the game. I think that the game being free to play, to pick up and play, is a massive W for the game because it encourages new players to get involved. I think that having a really strong battle pass is as close as you want to get to that subscription model, in my opinion. And that battle pass, I think for a lot of free to play players, being obtainable in game is a win for them.
Or some type of different design to where the game had better longevity and it helped retain players, because that's how I feel at the moment. It sucks, and seeing people just pay that amount is just insane. I don't want to feel like I need to be cornered in to buying Lucent. If I play the game a ton and just get the battle pass, I should be able to keep up, right? The people that pay should be those people that can't keep up at all or whatever. If they want to pay like a little bit extra to try to keep up, I get it. But me, it's someone who's...
I feel like that's kind of how the game is right now. I feel like if you're just kind of like, if you can't keep up with all your stuff, but you pay like some money, well, I will say, I think he's right. Because there's only so much that you can pay for in Throne of Liberty. As much as people get antagonizing it for being it like pay to win, and it is pay to win, you can't pay to win your mastery. You can't pay to win your armor level, right? You have to go out and actually play the game. And like your skill levels and stuff. Right, you have to actually go out and play the game in order to get those things. And so he is right. Honestly, it's not pay to win enough.
playing a ton, you just shouldn't have to feel cornered into paying like that, especially if you've been buying.
I don't feel cornered into paying. I did pay, but I don't feel cornered into paying. I felt like, honestly, the first time I played, I was super cornered into paying. I was like, and you are, when the expansion comes out, you're like, okay, if I spend a bunch of money right now, I'll be really highly geared. Everybody else will be behind me. Makes sense. But if the expansion's been out for a month and a half, 2 months, and you can just hold off not spending any money, it's really just like why are you even spending money then? You know what I mean? Like, because you just get the Lucid game what you do early on in the expansion, this is what I did this time, is I sold everything that I got. Everything that I got, I just sold it. People are like, yeah, you're crazy. I'm like, nope. I sold all of it up front, supply and demand, baby. I waited for all of the like marketplace to tank for like a month and a half, and then I bought everything. Partially with like the over $100 worth of Lucent I was able to earn in game, and then I spent a little money to buy it. But I could have waited even longer and not spent almost any money. So there's that too.
A battle pass, which essentially is kind of a subscription in a way. That's just how I feel about that personally. Let me know if you agree or disagree in the comments, please.
Pay to win's always going to be a touchy subject. I think that the pay to win model is fine. I would agree that, like, honestly, the game, like the mastery and the like leveling up your gear, I think the leveling up your gear part particularly, the mastery I think should be like play the game a lot, show that you have a lot of mastery, etc. But like the polished crystals are so rare, and you need thousands and thousands of these to level up your T2 gear. It's not like T1. In T1, you needed like a few hundred to level up all your gear. Like, you know, in T2, you need like 600 per armor piece, and I might be underselling it. Like, it is rough. And like, you're getting like, you go to a world boss, you get like 4 of them. Holy shit.
Wanted to be honest about that. Thanks so much for your time. As always, I really appreciate you guys. Again, I will continue to make content on the solo stuff and cover the raids, see what they do, and I will absolutely kind of keep the game on the back burner, if you will, and I will still follow it on the side and see where it goes. However, there's a lot of other titles that I'm really interested in. PoE 2 is just so awesome, and I'm having a blast playing that right now. First Berserker, Kazan is amazing. I highly recommend.
I mean, it should tell you that, again, the fact that he's playing PoE, PoE is a seasonal game. You play really actively for like a week or two, or like a few weeks, and then you put it down until the next season's going to come out, and then you pick it back up again. That's how PoE works. I was hoping that I'd be able to play it a little bit or longer term, but that's just not really how the game works.
Recommend you check that out if you like Souls games.
Now, this first Berserker Kazan, this seems like a great game, but give my PoE 2 is a great game. This is a great game too, but once you're finished with it, you're finished with it. You play it, but like, you're done.
There's so many great.
And then where are you going? Back and throw to Liberty, baby.
Titles on the way. I'm just going to keep making content, try to get better and better. Thank you so much for your time, you guys. Throne and Liberty has been an absolute journey. I've made so many core memories. I really am thankful for it, helping me grow as a creator and a gamer. Just means the world to me. Thank you so much for your time and the audience I gained. If you've commented ever or you've showed any support, I really appreciate your time. Thanks so much, you guys. Cindy's really sad that I'm quitting. You cannot quit, Throne. Yeah. Okay, thanks.
I think that's his cat, probably. It sounded like a cat. Like ratio looks okay. Looks okay. I'll give him the sub for sure. It's a good video. I think that this is, again, another example of a late game player. He had some really good points. And at the core of what he's saying, he's not wrong. But like, I think that you could see, like, he's obviously just playing the game way too hardcore. And I know that because I used to do that. He's not going to quit. Yeah, I feel like this dude is still playing. I feel like it's still installed. Straight up. I'm having fun because I am not pursuing to be in the top guilds. People that want to be in the top and don't play that top, they don't play, they have fun, they work here. Okay, I don't... Yeah, there's like no punctuation. It's hard to read this sentence, but I think he's saying that people take the game too seriously. Basically, what I've been feeling so sick of is dumping so much time, and all I get is T1 gear. That's fair. Not the only one, brother. Been rough. Hope they change things soon. Yes, subscription model. Why the are we advocating for what do you think the subscription model is going to change about the game? Sincerely. I like straight up, other than like paywalling people to even get into the game. What does the subscription model do for the game? Like, I don't understand. Like, the only thing is that, okay, Siege maybe might be worth a little bit more Lucent because everyone has to pay a little bit every week. But like, what the I just don't feel like how does it being a subscription model, aside from them making more money, what are we talking about? Subscription games don't work, and they never work with the newer MMO players anymore. Yeah, because they don't want to, like, they're already subscribed to World of Warcraft, and they're not going to play 2 MMOs at once if they have to subscribe, right? Like BDO is not a subscription model game. It does pretty well, right? It does pretty well. I don't think that Guild Wars 2 is either, but I could be wrong. I think that you just spend money on the expander. You want to be competitive without investing a lot of hours against players who live in the game. Am I correct? Well, he lived in the game. I'm just looking at the top comments. Free-to-play PvE player here, sitting at 5730. This was 2 weeks ago, guys. This guy's easily over 6K now. Free-to-play PvE player. Main weapons at 140. Oh my god. 140 weapon mastery? Total mastery 430 is insane. I don't see how you were were competitive. From what I've seen, competitive players are pushing 6K. See, this is the Delulu. This is Delulu. This is 2.5 weeks ago. 5730 CP 2.5 weeks ago was good. For sure was good. Now, yeah, sure, 63, 6400. But this is delulu from these top end players. Like they're just always looking ahead. Like, oh my god, there's always someone in front of me. There's always someone in front of me. Yeah, dude. Welcome to Korean grind MMOs. There's always a bigger fish. That does not mean that you're behind the curve. If like YouTube only allows you to comment, like if it's been 2 weeks and 6 days, it'll still say 2 weeks. It won't say 3 weeks until the 3-week marker. Okay. So this is probably 2.5 weeks ago, at least. Okay. That this was commented on. And again, to be at 5730 at that time was literally crazy. Really good. It wasn't like the highest in the game, but like the super giga whale, I'm no lifing the game. Sure, they were 6K, but like what the fuck are we talking about? You're going to compare yourself to those people? You can't compare yourself to those people. You compare yourself to everybody else. Like most of them, you're absolutely were competitive with 5730. You'd be competitive right now with 5730. If you don't want to grind in a free-to-play MMO, you are basically saying you don't want to play the game. This is 1 week of not playing is impossible to put you behind so much that you can't catch up. I actually agree with this if that's exactly what he meant. Like if you miss a week, you're still going to be okay. And none of the exploits are even a big deal. They're all fixed now. Okay, sure. If anyone asks me, Throne of Liberty is not a game to just log in randomly from time to time. If you don't have 20 plus hours a week to invest in it, don't even start an MMO. I personally wouldn't if I couldn't. This is such a take. I'm sorry. This is stupid as this is so dumb. Like, if I quit BDO, for example, every week that I spent less than 20 active hours playing, I would have quit many years ago. You go with any game, with any long-term grind game, you're going to go through phases where you play a lot, and then you play less, and then you play a lot, and then you play less. Does that mean you shouldn't play the game even if you're enjoying it because you can't keep up with the S plus tier 6K Andes that you feel like it takes to be competitive? No. This is some dipshit take. People need to learn to play to have fun. Holy finally, someone that's smart. And it's not even just to have fun. I get that having fun is being competitive in PvP. You don't need to be able to beat Supple or Sin Nova or whoever to have fun in PvP. That's a super small subset of players that are like at the tippity top. Most players are kind of in the mid tier where you can absolutely have fun and try to beat them. You know what I mean? Like it's just shown at Siege when you're just shitting around out in the world. You can absolutely get kills even by accident. You know what I mean? Everyone beats on Supple now. Be careful about that. That tournament coming up. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. Assuming they show up to the tournament, we'll see.